Okay, welcome back everybody. Sunday evening, at least evening my time. Who knows what time it is over wherever you happen to be. Back with some more Europa Universalis 4, the El Dorado expansion. And we are continuing our achievement run for the Sun King. Running as the Incan Empire. Well, we're not quite an empire yet. We are the nation of Inca. We get it loaded up here. And here we are with what we know of the world. Most of Western South America is ours. We have an ally up here in Musica. Actually, they are now a vassal of ours. We went to war with them near the end of the last session and vassalized them. There's also an unknown South American nation down here we have yet to actually get relations with. And we have had our first sightings of the Portuguese, although we don't know where they are. We do know that they have made landfall. Obviously it's 1562, so they've done so quite some time ago, you would think. Mid to end of last session, so around, I don't know, 1558, 1559 or something like that, Portuguese conquistador came traveling through our lands. So we know they're there. It's a three-part achievement. First thing we had to do was form the Incan nation. We started as the four-province nation of Cuzco, and managed to expand and overpower, vassalize, annex all of our local rivals for power. The second step is to westernize, and then the third step, which will be the most difficult, will be to own all of South America. With that in mind, we're busy colonizing all of the provinces that we can. We have 2 colonists out working at a time now. Dipping into our income a little bit, but we can afford it at this moment, and there's absolutely nothing else to do until we actually make contact with the Western powers. So, with that, we're going to go ahead and get a start. Now, the last session, for those that were watching live, was a little bit slow because, as it will be this session, because, well, we have no neighbors to conquer. There's no wars. There's potential for a civil war if I decide to enact the next reform. But I'll certainly take a look at that. The goal right now is we are about 8 years from our next admin tech. Right now we're scheduled to complete in 1570, so barring any changes or any expenditures of administrative points, we're about 8 years from completing that, which will give us our next idea group. And assuming I don't spend any diplomatic points between now and then, we are going to go right for the exploration ideas, and we should have enough points to get both the colonial ventures and the quest for the New World unlocked, which will give us conquistadors, which will allow us to go out and find the pesky Portuguese, or the Castilians, or whoever happens to be closest in the South American continent. So that is the goal for the session. For those catching this on YouTube, this will be starting episode 15, I believe. 13, 14, no, it'll be episode 16. I apologize. Will be the start of this session. This will be a 2 or 3 part session on YouTube. Again, not much going on. I'm trying to keep a treasury of about 150, so every time I hit about 200 gold, I go ahead and build a new building, and or potentially upgrade my army somewhat. Pardon me. I think I'm pretty much just building buildings at the moment. Now I do have some rebel factions forming. The Guarani are what is left of this nation down here. They're a non-accepted culture, so I'll have rebellions from them every now and then, but they're pretty much single province rebellion. Maybe, if I'm unlucky, a 2-province rebellion. Not much to worry about. The Chimu, who we have just annexed, have a big unrest amount due to the having just annexed them. And I did a autonomy decrease as well there, so that's going to be a bit of a problem for the near future, but not for too long. And then the Charkan nationalists are also one of these southern groupings. I think it's probably the easternmost series here. They were 4 or 5 provinces at the start, and their unrest is also due to autonomy decrease. I am also at a -1 stability right now. Again, trying to save those administrative points. I'm hoping for an event to correct that, because I don't want to spend any more administrative points than I have to. 107 would set me back another year toward getting those conquistadors. I have 2 diplomats free and absolutely nothing to use them on at the moment, so I've just vassalized these guys, so they're not going to be ripe for annexation for a while. Colonies, I have 2 colonists, one almost 50%, one at 40%, and it is Antofagasta and Calma? No, and Iki? I won't even try to pronounce that. Iquique? Something like that. Anyway, these 2 provinces here are being colonized at the moment. So with me being able to colonize 2 at a time, I figure by the time 1570 rolls around, I'll have another 4 or 5 provinces, 5 or 6 provinces colonized. I have about 20 some odd here that I can colonize. And again, with me requiring me to own all of South America, that means putting down a lot of colonies here. Bunch of buildings being done. One of the things that happened when I completed this war is I seized their entire treasury. Somehow they had managed to amass 1,100 ducats in their coffers, and I pretty much confiscated it all. They don't have any gold provinces, so I'm not sure where they got 1,100 ducats from, but they did. It's all now mine, and so we went on a building spree. You can see up there almost a dozen buildings, including 1 farm estate, and then some armories, constables, docks, and marketplaces, a few of each. Leaves me with an income of almost 5, and that is with 2 colonies out. And do I still have? No, my missionaries are done. Although it is with my army maintenance down to about 1/3 of normal right now. Of course, we have no navy. We're still a primitive nation, so we're unable to build a navy yet. I'm still building the docks for the trade power, and eventually we will have a navy, so no reason not to build some while I have the chance. You shouldn't be watching. You haven't caught up on the last episode there, Q, I don't think. At least I saw one that didn't have any views yet. It's the only one that hasn't had any views. Or did you skip one? Let's see. Yeah, it's going to be a bit slow here at the beginning until I get that. Now, I do have the potential here to have this speed up a little bit. Right now my current ruler is 62 years old. He's a 352, so I'm getting 6 a month in admin, 7 a month in admin with my advisor. My heir is a 615, so If he were to come to power, that would jump up to 10 a month. An extra 36 a year would cut off maybe 8 or 9 months, maybe as much as a year from the overall tech cost here. But again, right now we're looking at early 1570, so 1 year has passed. And we do have an idea bonus here, bonus to idea costs, so we don't have, it doesn't cost us a full 400 to get an idea, it's only 360 at the moment. So we need 720 Diplo points, and we'll certainly have that. We have 183 right now. We'll certainly have that, assuming we don't spend too many points here. Okay, peasants experiencing harsh subjugation. Some of them would turn against their landlords. We haven't used harsh treatment on any of them yet. What are you talking about? And there's another admin power hit. That'll. Do I want to avoid that? That's four additional months. No, we'll take the legitimacy hit. Our legitimacy is low. We're going to take the legitimacy hit for now. I don't want to take too many of those either. But we'll take that one for now. I really need an event to boost my stability. Our rebel factions are climbing. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and rearrange some of these armies. I'm going to move this one down here to be on hand. We'll keep the one near the colonies, and we'll move this one back up toward the north. I also have another army up here near our newly vassalized territory. Colonies, they haven't grown much, just over 50% now. What's our chances? 36 and 32% respectively on gaining a colonist each month. They're coastal provinces, so that's not got too many. Not got any of the penalties that I do for some of these inland for being tropical. We've got wool in one and our first naval supplies in the other. Not that we understand what a naval supply is, but hey. Okay, looks like we lost an advisor. Oh yeah, we did that. We've been waiting for a decent replacement, one that actually would be of use. Spy offense is no use to me. The 1 point a month, I'd rather get the extra income at the moment. Stability cost modifier we could replace with a oh, there we go, national unrest. We do want to do that. That'll help. That'll help keep some of these rebel factions down for a bit. I'll probably see the rebel factions drop a little bit here. Yep, one just dropped. The Chimu just dropped from 70 to 60. So that unrest advisor will be a big help. Up to 5.52. Hey, we see the more strange European type peoples over here. I wonder if England landed in the south and overtook this. Now this is the same color that nation always has been, so I don't think that's the British. 80, 50, 70. So the Chimu's melting away. The Chimu nationalists are melting away at the moment. I want all these coastal provinces before England has a chance to land anything on this west coast. I don't think they... I'm pretty sure they don't have the colonial range to land over here, but I still don't want to give them a chance. Not to get much of a foothold. Now, if they took one province over here, that would be okay. Okay, another half year gone. These colonies are growing slowly. What's my growth rate? I forget. 25 a year right now, plus the 30% chance a month of gaining some more. So we're still talking 16 years at without any bonus from getting the monthly colonists' income. They'll grow fairly quickly here. Now, when I get the exploration, I'm going to have a third colonist available. I'm just not sure I'll be able to put a third colony down. Right now we're spending a 4-month on colonial maintenance. Putting a third one down would bump that to 8 a month. So we could afford it, but we wouldn't be getting much income by doing that. So it's something to consider, at least once we get to that point. I'm more concerned with getting that conquistador out at the moment, and also potentially unlocking a new trade zone, because we also potentially can get a third merchant. I haven't bothered popping the idea point because there was no center of trade I could put a merchant in right now. There's some Portuguese now on the west coast, so they've managed to sail around the tip of South Africa here. Both of the great Western naval powers. And yeah, the Chimu's down to 20%. It's the unrest advisor has had no effect on either of the other nationalist groups. The theologian, no effect on either of the other rebel factions, other than maybe to halt their growth. Let's see what the unrest is in these Chimu territories here. Unrest is down to 0. -3 from the advisor, -1 from the government type. +2 to negative stability and +10 to due to autonomy decrease. That's one thing we can take a look at, our autonomy. We should be pretty clean here, other than in Chimu, which we decreased the autonomy in Chimu and then immediately got an event which bumped the autonomy back up in all 4 territories, but that event gave us -5% to our admin and Diplo tech costs. Yeah, integration of Chimu customs. So yeah, we got a -5% to our costs in both admin and Diplo, and since we're only Tech 6 and 7, that's kind of pretty huge. It'll be even bigger once we actually westernize. So the only other one with any kind of autonomy I can't impact again for another how long? Until it's another 20 years before I can drop their autonomy again. By then, it will naturally have decreased to nothing, I think. So, autonomy, we're doing good there. We're pretty much as maxed out as we can be there. And we're finally up to 60% in a colony, 55 in the second. One rebel faction is completely eradicated. And we've gotten through another year, so 6 years to go before we get to our conquistadors, barring any events costing us our points. We've got ourselves a 6 gold provinces. I'm still hoping to get some more here in South America. There's got to be some more, I would think. We still have a bunch of provinces that are mountainous that are potential gold provinces. I need 10 gold provinces for one of the achievements. So that's one of the other ones that I expect to get on this playthrough. Might be the only one I get, because actually kicking the Western powers out of South America is going to be a bit difficult at this stage, I suspect. What is the other achievement here? A pile of gold is the achievement. Own 10 provinces which produce gold. Right now, our inflation is going up by 0.06 a year, so it's not going up by much. I really would like to find a way to lower that inflation, but I haven't gotten the right advisor type yet pop up. So, oh, and our Charkan nationalists are starting to melt away. They're down to 40%. That rebel faction is going away. And all of our buildings are done except for the farm estate now, which actually should have been a bit of a help for our income as well. Chief conspiring against me. Hyana Kapak the First Hanan. Our religious inspectors uncovered a conspiracy where one of our minor chiefs of the realm has been conspiring against my health through a golden Huaca god. While it is doubtful if there was ever any real risk for me, the inspectors proposing that we make an example of the chief. I can gain 5 authority and have a 50% chance of nationalist regiments, which we could deal with easily enough. I don't need any more authority. I'm maxed out. I can gain a 5 authority, get a -2 local unrest in what province? Plus 5 authority. Loyal chief in Chokechaka. That is right there. Would get a plus -2 to local unrest, +1, -1 to local autonomy change, and a certainty of 5 regiments, or lose 5 authority. We'll take that. Middle one there. Again, we don't need the authority. 5 regiments we can deal with easily enough. The local unrest and the monthly autonomy change is useful, so we'll do that. Bump my maintenance up briefly. See, with max maintenance, we're actually losing a little bit of income right now. Now, part of the reason for that is we are at close to our army force limit. I've started putting cannons in my armies with that last tech level change, so let's see, it looks like I can come at them from Potosi without getting a river crossing, so we'll move there while we get our morale bumped up. And we should be able to sortie out as well for some additional men. What kind of leader does he have? 1230. Okay, that's not too bad. Give it till just near the end of the month and we'll charge in. Should be a nice quick skirmish. In we go. Sortie out. Get the rest of the troops in. And 1 revolt put down. Now, the reason I'm not triggering a civil war right now is I need to have a positive stability. I probably would do it for try to get the plus 5% morale of the armies is the next one I'm probably going to get in that of the religious reforms, but I have to have a positive stability, and again I'm trying not to spend points right now, admin points. I'd much prefer to go find the Western powers. Welcome there. Let's see, who do we have today? Welcome, anonymous viewer. Just started up a short time ago, so you haven't missed much. It's going to be fairly slow here for the first couple years of the session because I am in the process of colonizing, waiting for my next tech level, admin tech, which will give me my conquistador so I can go find some Western powers. There's really nothing else for me to do at the moment. I have no enemies. I have no neighbors except for my vassal up here in the north. So until I find the Western powers, I'm just stuck in pretty much doing nothing but colonizing and then maybe doing some buildings. Speaking of which, I should put a couple more buildings down. Go ahead and lower the maintenance back down. 5.5 a month is useful. Let's build some buildings. I've got another 6.5 years until I get my next tech level, admin tech level, and the associated ideas for getting the conquistadors. Okay, it looks like pretty much everything is a solid 2.38. How about temples? I've got a lot of temples out there. Constables. Anything big for constables? 0.5. We'll build one constable there. It's a 0.4 province. How am I doing for forts? Looks like I've got a fair number of forts, tier 2 forts, so I'm okay there. Go back to the marketplaces. Let's get some more trade power here. Trade income. And again, I'm trying to stay right around 150 gold in my treasury, so I'll spend down to that point. And that's about it. Colonies, got one at 75% done. The second colony set almost 70% done. Almost a 50% chance each month of getting new colonists in both of them. Regional nobles challenged the Inca. Crush them. 5 noble regiments in Matara. Local tax modifier, manpower modifier, lose 1 stability. Nope, we'll deal with the regiments. And we're going to probably have a bunch of these events. Not much we can do about it except run around and stomping on the small rebellions that pop up. The second rebel faction is completely melted away, leaving just the Dorado nationalists, which also happens to be the province where this last event revolt happened. So we are down to about 5 years, just over 5 years now for the next tech. Getting through a year every, what, 5 or 6 minutes or so. Colony, both colonies above 70%, one nearing 80%. Oh, can't sortie from that one either. Still got 2 years left on that first farm estate that we built. And one more revolt put down. At the cost of how many men? 588 men, so that wasn't too bad. Okay, 80%, 75%, and the that rebel faction down there is also going away. And I see those ships out there. Oh, I want ships. Land and let me buy some ships from you. There's the English as well. Looks like they're doing some exploration runs along the west coast, is what it appears to me. And we just had a provincial unrest show up in Matara, which is the one that we just crushed the rebellion in. Negative stability, non-accepted culture. Not sure why something must have wore off. So we are now less than 5 years away. Yeah, I want to have money for the conquistadors as well, to be able to hire them. And we are building the farm estate where Makaya. Could have built 2 or 3 of them, but it didn't look like they were really all that cost effective to farm estates, so at least not yet. Yeah, I can afford the diplomatic power, which is what I'm spending mostly right now, diplomatic or military power. I haven't spent much in the way of administrative power for buildings. What are those things floating out on the water? I want some. Maybe we should pray to the great storm god to wash them ashore. Colonies are both above 80%. I'm going to grab 2 more of the southern territories, southern coastal territories next. Actually, I don't think I can grab 2 of them. I think the colonial range will only allow me to get the closest one. Okay, another year just about gone by. Surprised I haven't had all that many events here. I'd really love to get a positive stability event here. Get me back to neutral without having to spend some administrative power to do it. Constable nearing completion. One constable complete. Still got an income of 5.04. And that'll go up with some of these buildings, but not by much. Maybe as much as a quarter a month to 5 1/4 or so. 2 more marketplaces nearing completion, and we have less than a year left on that first farm estate that we built. And there we go. All of our markets are now done. Of that last batch of markets, anyway. $666 for trade income right now. Got 2 more trade nodes that I know about, but I can't get anybody to because they're out of my range. Oh, up to 667 trade income. So they didn't help all that much. And the rebel faction holding steady at 70%, not gaining or losing any really. The colony, both colonies are right at about the 90% mark, just above and just below the 90% mark, so we'll be able to pop another colony down here momentarily. Both of them are now above 90. One more month maybe for the Iquique. It's the northernmost colony here. What I want to do is leave one space for a Western power to land on the western coast. Just one province for them to land. I want to own the rest of the coastal provinces. That's assuming I don't get cross-country to find the colonies on the east coast first. We are now 48 months from getting conquistadors. Assuming my calculations on diplomatic power were right. We have 483, so yeah, we could push the first button right now and have 120 left, or yeah, we'll easily have enough diplo power to push straight through to conquistadors once we get the idea group unlocked. These colonies don't want to complete. Antofagasta's catching up to Iquique. Well, I thought I'd get 5 or 6 colonized. I guess I underestimated how quick, or overestimated how quick the colonies were going to complete. Enhanced reputation. Hey, let's use it. We have a diplomatic reputation of +1. Yeah, why do we need diplomats? We have no neighbors. Diplomatic faux pas has expired, however. So we had a 4-point swing in our diplomatic reputation, and we have nobody to use our diplomats on. It's much too early to be able to consider annexing them, right? And there's a colony complete. There we go. Annex vessel 1571. Yeah, so we have 5 and a quarter years before we can annex them. Okay, let's get another colony down. And just make sure, yeah, we cannot colonize down there. So we'll get Copiapo colonized. It is a coastal desert. The next one is a mountain and a mountain down that way. These 3 are all coastal deserts, I think. Nope, 2 coastal deserts and a mountain along there. And we have already got the north colonized as much as we can, the north coast. So, probably should, yeah, a little bit more chance of a natives uprising there, so I'll move my troops down there. And 999 colonists. Really? There we go. Can we colonize here? We cannot colonize there. Okay, so with that in mind, we'll go ahead and take, and let's get the mountain one. See if we can find some gold. Gold in them there hills. Let's see, what was the native count there? 1,000 with the 1 aggressiveness, so not worried about natives there, really. Keep these close by just in case, but I don't think we'll have a problem with them. I don't remember any uprisings in any of our colonists that only had a single 1,000 natives with a single aggressiveness point. The 2,000 natives with 2 aggressiveness points we had out here in the east, and yet there were a couple uprisings there, so I'll keep army in place there. Let's go with another barracks, I think, now. And let's put it in our easternmost province, against the chance that the Westerners decide to come, or the Western powers decide to come west, and think it to be easy pickings. And we've completed our first farm estate. Up here, what did that do? Yep, that doubled our goods produced, doubled our trade value, and a decent income boost there. 5.56, so almost a full half ducat a month for that farm estate. Not too bad. There's certainly better manufactories that I could get. I just don't have access to them yet. We must find a job. We've got a trader. As long as he's not a traitor. Let's see. He's a tier 2. And we just lost whatever the other tier 2 was. We're almost at the point where I could afford a tier 2 advisor. If I wanted to go down to just one colonist, I could. Let's go help my vassal out here, since he obviously can't put down an uprising in his own territory. And 36 months now from conquistadors. Men lost. Should improve my vassal's opinion of me a little bit, allowing a little bit easier annexation when it comes time. Okay. Less than 36 months now. I noticed that I haven't seen any of the Western ships here lately. Oh, speaking of which, we found the French. How many different types of Westerners are there? I should save myself about 1,000 gold so I can go on a massive shipbuilding binge when I finally am able to build ships. But that's going to be a while, and the ships that I can build will be much inferior to what they can build. So, welcome to those that have joined the channel. See a couple more anonymous viewers, and they're welcome. Been running for about 30 minutes or so, I think. We are getting close to being able to set out cross-country and find the Western powers. For those that joining recently might not be familiar with this particular playthrough, we are chasing the Sun King achievement. 3-part achievement. The first was to form Inca. You can see that we have done that, starting from a 4-province nation of Cusco. These 4 provinces here. There were 6 or 7 different nations down here in the Andes, the Andean area. And we've managed to conquer, annex, vassalize, bully, or whatever you may call it, them into joining the mighty Incan nation. We have 1 vassal to the north that is 4 years out before we can annex them. The second part of the achievement is to westernize, and the final part of the achievement is to own all of South America. So we're busy colonizing right now, since we can't. There are no Westerners to be found at the moment, although we're starting to see their ships. We haven't been able to find them. I'm 2.5 years out from my tech level 7, which will give me access to a second idea group and my conquistadors. So that is what we are doing this evening. Working on getting those conquistadors and finding a Western power that we can settle next to, so that we can actually westernize, start the process of westernization anyway. And it looks like it's time to build another building. I think I'll stick with some forts for now. Let's go back down here now. Saving all the admin and diplo power that I can, so that I can get that idea unlocked as soon as possible. As soon as I get the idea group unlocked, I'll have enough diplomatic points stored up that to where I can go straight for get both colonial ventures and quest for the New World all at once. So that's why I'm not spending any diplo points at the moment. That colonial range would be useful right now. Unfortunately, we don't have it. And the reason I don't have that idea group yet is when it came time, when I hit tech level 4 and got the first idea group, my Diplotech was lagging so far behind. I went for the immediate expansion first so I could start the colonizing process. Didn't really expect not to find have the Westerners settle anywhere near me by this point, but that's the way it happens. So, but I have picked up a full, I don't know, dozen. Let's see, 2, 4, 8, 10. Yeah, I think I've picked up a dozen colonies that I wouldn't have had probably if I'd gone the other route. We are working 2 colonies at a time right now thanks to a religious reform that I enacted a bit ago. We got a second colony, second colonist available. And since we have to own all of South America anyway, the only way to do that is to do a whole lot of colonizing anyway. So getting that particular reform enacted and getting that particular idea unlocked early didn't hurt me too much, I don't think. Like I said, I would have preferred to get the conquistadors early, but it just didn't work out the way the rulers came about. I had a lot of level 1 point diplomatic rulers for a while I had like 5 and 6 point admin rulers. So that's the way it worked out, which is the way things are. And that rebel faction isn't changing at all. We are now just over 25 months from the idea unlock. And it might actually be a little bit less. It might be going, I don't think it's going down. We don't have any neighbors to get a neighbor bonus from, I don't think. So, yeah, it's still, it's actually getting worse. It's gone up to June of 1570 instead of April of 1570, so we lost 3 months. Increase over time plus 2.7%. So, yeah, about 25 months. Between 25 and 30 months. I don't think it'll get much worse than June. Okay. It just got better, actually. Except for one thing. I might have to push a stability bump now. Okay, we had a ruler. We just lost our ruler. He was 65 years old. Our new ruler is good for our purpose of getting the tech group unlocked, idea group unlocked. So we gain an extra 36 points a year in Diplo. What's our air look like? Fairly solid 333. And we completed a mission as well. That's good. Okay, let's see what missions are available. Recover negative stability. I would have to push 2 points on that to gain 5 prestige. Not worth it. Fortify Mariquita would give us manpower and army tradition. Incorporate Musica, which we can't do for another 3 years. 5 prestige and 25 admin power. Oh, let's go with the Fortify. Let's get the easy one out of the way. And that was for Mariquita, which is not one of those new provinces. Speaking of new provinces, I do have to core those new colonies as well. Okay, I think we're going to take a little bit of a hit. I don't want to stay at -2. Where's Mariquita? There it is. So let's go ahead and do that. Get that started. That's military power, which I can afford, so get that out of the way. Okay, provincial unrest, rebel uprising. I'm going to hold on to it for now. right now, if things were to complete, we're looking at July of '69. So we gained a full year on our tech. I'm going to try to hold out because we're talking about